everyone. Hope everyone's doing well today. I hope everyone's doing really good and having awesome days. It's a gorgeous fall day here in New York. So anyways, on October 11th, which is actually a Saturday this month, it is National Coming Out Day. So I thought, since I'm gay, that I should make a video about coming out. I've already come out to my family and friends. Everybody already knows, anyone who's close to me already knows that I am gay. And I'm really comfortable with myself. You know, I still try to find myself. I'm still working on me, but I'm pretty comfortable with the person that I am. But I just thought I would share with you guys my coming out story and maybe just some advice that I can hopefully give to you. You know, I don't know everything there is, or I'm not like the master or the queen of everything. I know all this stuff, but this is just something that I've dealt with. And this is my story, and this is what happened when I came out. I've known for a really long time that I was gay. I've probably known since I was a teenager, maybe like 12, 13. You know, in that area, I've known for like a really long time that I was gay. And at the time, I really didn't know what those feelings were. I just knew what I was attracted to and what I felt towards guys. So I wasn't really sure what it was, though. And then, you know, as time went on, as I got older, you know, you hear about this stuff. And the thing is like, I live in a town where I wouldn't say that people are homophobic or anything like that, but it's just I live in a smaller town where it's, if they don't know about it, they aren't, you know, they can't really talk about it. So, and you know, they kind of look down upon it. I guess almost like ignorance is bliss. But, so, anyways, you know, I knew to myself that I was gay, and for me, you know, I just thought there was always a negative connotation about being gay. So I always thought to myself that I could never tell anybody that I was gay, and that I had to have this fake life. And I thought to myself, you know, I'm gonna have to get married, and I'm gonna have to pretend to like women, and I'm gonna have to have a family and children with a woman, and that'll be my life, and that will be what I have to do. Because being gay is so bad. It's such a bad thing. That's not true. That's so wrong. And, you know, even 5 years ago, like, sadly, like, a lot has changed in the last 5 years, which is amazing and awesome, and props to our country and the people in it, and to the gay community. It's awesome. But so much has changed in that time period. Like, when I first, you know, like, was having those feelings, and I was like, I really want to, you know, I contemplated going back and forth so much that I said, will I really be happy if I make that decision? Will I really be happy doing that for the rest of my life and playing pretend? And I fought with that for so long. And it just was something that always ate away at me. And as soon as somebody would make a comment or something about gay, or talk about maybe a gay celebrity or something like that, I would kind of cringe on the inside, and I would panic because I was like, oh my God, somebody knows, or oh my gosh, what if they say something and it really offends me, but I can't say anything because I can't tell anybody that I'm gay. So it was this constant battle of like me feeling uncomfortable in certain situations, and I just thought, this is so unfair to me. And you know, for the longest time, again, I contemplated whether or not I should say something, if I should tell somebody how or what I should do. So one night, this was the first person that I ever told. Now, I'm not saying this is how you should tell people that you're gay or anything like that, but one night I was hanging out with one of my best friends. I've known her for so long, and we were drinking and we were hanging out, and we got pretty tipsy, and we were sitting in her bedroom, and we were laying on her bed, and I said to her, there's something I have to tell you. And she said, okay, what is it? And I said, you already know what it is. Because I choked up at that point. And if anybody's ever come out, they know that moment. And your heart starts racing, you start kind of clamming up, your throat kind of closes, and it's just this like crazy, like overwhelming, it's so crazy to think that your brain can create all of these things to make you stop because you're so scared of what you're about to say, and your brain has so much control over your bodily functions in that sense. So I kind of like panicked and clammed up, and I was like, you know what I'm gonna say. And she was just kind of like, well, you have to say it though. Like, I'm not just gonna assume what I think you're gonna say. So she was like, you have to say it. So I, again, went back and forth, and I was like, I don't know if I can say this. I don't know if I can do this. So I kind of panicked. And then I looked at her and I said, I like guys. And I couldn't even say that I was gay. And that's okay. Don't get me wrong. That's totally okay. And for the first time to say something such a big thing, that's amazing. And I was so proud of myself, and I was so nervous. And she rolled over, she kissed me on my cheek, and she said, I love you no matter what. You are one of my best friends, and you're an amazing person. Being gay does not change how I feel about you. So that meant so much to me, and just this, even like that first one, just took so much weight off of my heart and off of like me as a person. It's the craziest feeling ever. It's so liberating. And I just was like, you know, thank you. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. And then there's kind of that high, and then you hit that low again, because then you realize that there's still more people to tell. So after that, I happen to have a really great support system friend-wise, and a lot of my friends are gay or bisexual, so, and happen to be coming out around the same time. And I had met some new friends who were also gay, so it kind of made the transition into telling my friends that much easier. One of my best friends at the time, she was gay, and like even her I was nervous to tell. Like I was afraid to tell her. And she's gay. Like why should you be afraid to tell your friend? And it's so crazy that we're so afraid to tell people. And I understand why, because I personally had a pretty good experience overall, and you know, I never really had a backlash, is what I would guess I'm trying to say, is there was never really like a negative situation that occurred with me. And it's crazy that we have like that fear. So after like coming out to a lot of my friends, which was, like I said, really easy, the next person that I felt that was necessary to tell were my parents. So the first person I told was my mom, because I live at home, and actually one of my friends, her mom is friends with my mom, so I was like, and her daughter is one of the friends that's gay, so I was like, oh my gosh, like, her mom's gonna accidentally say something, or so then I just started panicking, thinking terrible things were gonna happen. So I was like, I just have to do it. So one night, it was just me and my mom were at home, and I went into her bedroom and I was like, I really need to talk to you. And again, I kind of knew, like, I kind of felt like she was just gonna be like, oh, I already know you're gay, or oh, like, I'm totally 100% okay with it. But as much as you can think, I know exactly how this is gonna go, and this is gonna go so great, it's still nerve-wracking to think that it could go bad. And that's the part that overpowers the good no matter what anybody says. It just does, and it's crazy to think that. And it's just crazy to think that you can make yourself think such bad things. So anyways, I went into her bedroom, sat down, stuttered for a few times, and I was like, I want to tell you something. And she was like, okay, what do you want to tell me? And I kind of was just like quiet, and I kind of panicked and like silenced, and she's like, are you gonna tell me what you wanted to tell me? And I was just like, yeah. And I like, again, clammed up, couldn't get it out, and I was like, oh my gosh, and she was like, tell me what you're gonna say. And so I was like, I'm gay. And again, it was just this moment of silence for a second, and she looked at me and she said, okay. She goes, I hope you know that doesn't affect the way that I love you or care about you or feel about you. You're still the same person. Which, that just took the biggest weight off my shoulders. And it just made me feel so much lighter, because again, I was so scared of what was going to happen. I was so scared that I was going to be shunned from my family or something, and I wasn't sure what was going to happen. And then my mom took it upon her, which she asked first. She totally asked if it was okay with me. She had asked if she could tell my oldest sister, and if she could tell my stepdad. And I was totally fine with that. I was totally okay with that. My middle sister, I actually told myself. She was one of the first family members that I actually did tell, because we're close. I feel like I'm really close with all my sisters, and I honestly would have told my oldest sister, but my mom happened to speak to her first, and she, you know, asked, and I was like, that's fine. So yeah, it was a pretty scary moment. It was pretty nerve-wracking. And then, you know, my stepdad, so like the thing is, my stepdad's been in my life for a really long time. He's been in my life like a majority of my life. And again, I was kind of nervous because I'm not even his son, and, you know, it's scary because he doesn't have to accept me, you know, and he didn't even flinch at the fact, you know, and that meant a lot to me. Dad was completely accepting of it, and for him to accept it and I'm not his son, and him openly be like, it's fine, like, you know, and like my family's pretty jokey and like sarcastic, so like, you know, he made like a sarcastic joke, which like broke the ice for me because I was kind of, again, cringing on the inside, waiting to like find out when he was gonna tell me, like, that he knew. So I was kind of like, this is so awkward, or like, when's my mom gonna tell him? And it was just, you know, it just made me feel comfortable, and it made me be like, okay, everything's good. And then I told my dad, and he was a little taken back by it, and, you know, he needed his time to realize it and kind of accept it, which I understand. I'm his actual son. Like, when you know, you have a kid, you don't ever really think of it in that sense, and you're like, in that sense, I mean, you never really think that your child's going to turn out gay. You kind of expect that your child's gonna be straight, and they're gonna have a wife and kids, and, you know, everything like that. And I can still have all those things, minus the wife. But for him, it was kind of a shock, and he kind of just, you know, when I told him, you know, I kind of wish I told him in a different way. It wasn't the best way. It was on a phone conversation, and, you know, I wish I had done it in person, but for personal reasons, I chose to do it that way. And, you know, like I said, he was taken back by it. Didn't really talk to him too much for like a little bit, gave him his space because I knew he had to process it, and I understand that certain people have to process it, and everybody's entitled to process the information that I'm sharing with them, just like anybody's able to process the information that you might share with them. So I was like, you know what, take your time, and I told him that, and I said, you know what, take your time, I understand this is a big thing, and he ended up reaching back out to me, and, you know, I mean, I guess I shouldn't say reaching back out to me. He ended up calling me, and, you know, everything was fine. And, you know, he told me, I love you no matter what. You're my son. Blah, 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 blah. So I just think that everybody deals with it in their own way, and everybody has to process it in their own way. And you have to be respectful of that too, because it's a transition for other people too. So again, I was really lucky, and I actually ended up sending out an email. I mean, I guess it was like a Facebook message, email, same difference, I feel like, to everyone in my family, on both sides of my family, just letting them know who I am, and telling them that I was gay. I just didn't know how else to do it because I have family that lives everywhere else, and that was my decision, and that's how I chose to do it. You know, I'm not gonna say that I didn't get a little lashback from that. But again, that's not their decision, and I don't know how else to have done it that I felt comfortable, because, you know what, I don't want to have to address every single person in my family individually. I think that's ridiculous, and I think that the way that I did it was the way that I should have done it, and I stick to that, and I would have done it again that way to tell my extended family. That was my choice. So for me, I thought that that was the best way, and a lot of my family members thought that that was the best way to do it as well. You know, I don't think everybody expected a personal phone call or a handwritten letter or anything like that. But if that's what you want to do, and that's what makes you comfortable, and that's what you need to do, then do that. That's your choice, and you get to make that decision as to how you want to come out, and that's your choice. Don't let anybody influence that. That's your decision. If that's what you want to do it. So I'm really thankful for that. I'm really thankful for, you know, the love and support and, you know, that I received when I came out. It was just really awesome. And it really, you know, shows you who your friends and your family are. You know, thankfully I didn't lose anybody. I know it does happen to people. And I'm just so lucky to have not lost anybody. So some advice that I'll give while coming out is do it on your terms. Do it when you feel comfortable and when you're ready. This is your journey. Don't let it be anyone else's journey. This is you get to make these decisions. You get to make these choices. This is your life. When you're ready, you'll know you're ready. I wasn't ready, and I know that I wasn't ready, and I know that I would not have been able to just do it. I just know I wouldn't have. Had somebody force me, or had I felt forced to do it. When I did it, I was ready to be who I was. What scared me was actually telling people. That's what held me back from being who I was. But in all honesty, when you are ready and you do this, it is the best feeling in the entire world, because you get to be who you are, and you get to live to be the person that you want to be, and you get to be happy. So why not do it? Every day things are changing in this world, and our community is rising, and we're growing stronger, and we're making moves happen in this world that are amazing, and we're finding equality for our community, which is amazing. I feel so much more comfortable now than I did 5 years ago, 6 years ago. It's crazy to think that much has changed in that time period, but a lot has changed. And if it's changed that much in 6 years, in another 6 years, where are we gonna be? So just be open to that, and just remember that. And just remember all the people that are around you that do support you. There are a lot of people out there in the world that do support you, and that will be there, and that will stand behind you. But just be who you are, love who you are, and find your happiness. Because if you're living for other people, you're not gonna be happy. You're really not. I don't think it matters whether you like girls or you like guys or you like both. It's your decision, and it is who you are. It doesn't define you. It's just a part of you. Being gay is just one small thing about you. That's one thing. So just remember, it doesn't define you. Be who you are, be proud of who you are, and love yourself. Every single ounce of yourself. And of course, don't forget to share your beautiful smile with the world. All right, I love you guys. Bye.